Solving by elimination. We ready to go? So again, solving by elimination accomplishes the same goal as solving by substitution, which accomplishes the same goal as graphing two lines and looking for the place where they cross.
Getting x and y.
Okay, yeah, getting the x and y coordinate of the point that the two lines share in common. Okay? Jatea.
For the quiz, when we get to do whatever we want, does that include graphing
Sure.
and stuff? Oh,
Yeah, if you want to graph, that's fine.
we good.
Yeah. So, when I say solve by any method, those are really your choices. Substitution, elimination, or graphing. Or I guess you could do, remember in that warm-up we did that table? You can do that too, if you want to. Okay? All right, so substitution, just to back up, the big key to substitution was what?
X, y.
Okay, that was the answer. What did we have to start with?
Nothing.
No. What was the very first thing you have to do when you're doing substitution?
Get something by itself.
Something by itself, okay? The key to elimination is not necessarily to have something by itself, but to have the variables lined up so that they cancel out. So do you see how this one has the x's on top of each other, the y's on top of each other, and the numbers on top of each other? See, x and x, y and y, number and number, okay? That's what elimination is all about. And you want to get it to where when you add the two sets of numbers together, that one of your variables cancels out. So do you see in this first example how I have a positive 3y and a negative 3y? That's awesome. Okay? That means that you are ready to start right away. You don't have to do any work ahead of time. It's just like in substitution when they hand you the equations that are already solved for y. This one's already all set to go. All I'm going to do is take these two equations and add them together. So x plus 2x. What's x plus 2x? 3x.
3x.
I'm adding together up and down.
Oh.
What's 3y plus negative 3y?
0.
Cancels out, right?
Oh, yeah. 0.
That's our whole point. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to get something to cancel out. And then 14 plus negative 8 is positive 6.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so now divide by 3. X equals 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that part's pretty easy. Now we do have to go back and find y. Guys, whatever's so funny. Okay. Finding y is a little bit trickier than it was in substitution. I'm still going to take this and plug it into one of these equations, but I'm going to have to do a little more work than I used to. So I'm going to take that 2 and maybe put it into that first equation, because there's no negatives there, so I like that one. But it would work either way, okay? So I'm going to say 2 plus 3y equals 14. Okay? Subtract the 2. 3y equals 12.
4.
Very good. Divide by 3. Y equals 4.
2, 4.
Coordinates 2, 4. Good.
Oh, yeah, this is easier.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, that one was all already set up for you. You may still think that at the end of this lesson. I'm not trying to talk you out of thinking that it's easier.
Well, all these are set up.
But, well, they're set up so that they're lined up, but not so
Yeah.
that things will cancel.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's look at number 2. I've made this so that it kind of gets progressively harder. I'm starting you with the very easiest kind.
Yeah, but
Now let's look at number 2.
-1.
Number 2 is awfully close to what we want, right?
-1
Because I have 2x and 2x. Okay? But those aren't going to cancel out if I add them right now. I sure wish that 2x was what?
Negative.
Negative. Let's make it negative. I can do that.
Oh,
But if I make it negative, what else do I have to do? Okay, in that one equation, I have to change the signs on everything. So I'm going to make this a negative 3y, and I'm going to make that a negative 7. Okay? It's kind of hard to see, but you get my point. Now when I add together, the x's cancel out, right? That's what's supposed to happen. If that doesn't happen, you did something wrong. Don't add together until you're ready for something to cancel out. What's 2 plus negative 3? Because remember now that's negative. Negative 1y. And 4 plus negative 7?
-3.
Negative
plus
3.
positive y.
If negative y is negative 3, then y is
3.
positive 3. And again, you can plug into either equation. I'll just go back into the top one again. So I'll say 2x plus 2 times 3 equals 4. Okay, so I just put that 3 right there for y. So really this says 2x plus 6 equals 4.
Minus 6.
Subtract the 6.
3 times 2 is 6.
2x equals negative 2. Divide by the 2. X
1.
is negative 1.
Yeah.
Now just make sure you put the coordinate together the right way.
Only one was in half.
Okay, thank you. I'll slow down. Kara? Oh, here? You mean? Okay, here I subtracted the 2. This was after I had plugged in the number for x. Okay, I subtracted it because that's a positive 2, so I did minus 2 to get rid of it. Here, I plugged the 3 in here, and I had to put it together because there was a 2 there. This one was just a regular x. Do you see that? If there had been like a 5 out here, I would have had to done 5 times 2. Is that what you were asking? Okay. Okay, so now my coordinate, negative 1 comma 3.
Did they get any harder than that?
Little bit. Okay. Questions on that so far? Isaac, did you catch up with me?
Yeah.
I'll slow down for the next one, I'm sorry. Okay, in number 3, do I have anything that's going to cancel out right now? No. And do I have anything that if I just made it negative, it would cancel out?
No.
No. So now, this is when I have to start thinking about how can I change an equation to make it work.
Well, 6y goes cancel out.
Okay, so yeah, Colvin, you're right. Let me explain what you just came up with. Can I turn a 3 into a 2 easily? No. Or a 2 into a 3 easily? With multiplication, I'm talking. But I could turn this 2 into a positive 6 pretty easily, right? With multiplication. And I want it to be a positive 6 so that it would cancel with a negative 6. What do I have to multiply by to make that happen?
3.
Okay, so I'm going to take the entire equation and multiply by 3. Okay? So this is going to become 9x. This is going to become positive 6y. And this is the mistake people make a lot. This final number needs to be multiplied by 3 as well. So negative 78. Okay? Now I'm going to take these two and add them together. Okay? Does that make sense? The bottom two.
Oh.
Because I took this and rewrote it and it became that one.
11x plus 6y
Okay.
equals
Well,
No,
it's
it cancels.
good. 11x. Now these cancel, which was my whole point.
11x equals negative
Okay.
78.
Nope, add together. Negative
Yeah.
10 plus negative 78.
Negative 88.
Negative 88.
8.
Good. Okay, you do have to make sure that you're adding together. You're adding each pair together.
Was that the way you were
Okay.
going to show us?
What do you mean?
That's the way. Was that the way you were going to show us?
Yep.
Oh,
So divide by 11.
okay. Good job.
Yeah, Colvin, I just meant that you saw that that should be a 6 right away. I was trying to explain why we needed it to be a 6. So x is negative 8. When I go to plug back in, I can plug into any of these 3 equations. Any one of these 3 are totally valid.
I'm gonna go with the top.
I'm going to go with the top just because I haven't scribbled all over that one yet. So,
Sounds good.
so 3 times negative 8, so I'm putting it in for x spot.
Negative 24.
And yeah, you may be able to just write it as negative 24. I want you to see what I'm doing with it. I don't know why my camera keeps doing that today.
I think it's when you move the paper.
Might be. It's a new camera too, so.
Is it open all the way?
I think so. Yeah. I just found out yesterday, on Friday, that my camera was supposed to have multiple lights. It only had one the entire time I had it, and it's supposed to have like 6. So I wrote down to them at the tech office, and I said, I just found out that my camera's not working. And they said, oh, we'll bring you a new one. So they did, but now it's doing this flickering thing. I would rather just have my old one with one light back. Okay, negative 24, so I'm going to add 24. Sorry, that 26 is kind of hiding there. So 2y, negative 26 plus 24 is negative 2. Divide by the 2,
-1.
y is negative 1. So coordinate, negative 8, negative 1. Most of the time that you're doing these, this is the type of situation you're going to be in, okay? Where you have to multiply one equation by something. Jotea, whatever cheeriness is going on over there, let's hold off, okay? All right, take a look at number 4, which I've already started to scribble all over, but
Number 4?
yeah, what do you not like about number 4?
It's not good.
Right.
It's not fun.
10.
Hunter, what were you saying? Okay, I can't take one equation and turn it into something that looks like the other one. Like I can't turn a 2 into a 3 or 3 into a 2. So, yeah, I'm going to have to change both equations in this case. And now why would you choose these, the y's, and not the x's?
Because 10 is the right number.
Okay, I'm fine with that. That's perfectly fine rationale.
We do 6.
Really what I like about this, about the y's, is that you already have this positive negative thing going on. Now there's a way you can fix it if you don't have that. Like I could work with the x's. But yeah, I'm going to take the y's and turn them both into 10s so that they'll cancel out. So what do I need to multiply the top equation by? 2. And the bottom equation by? 5. Good. So the top equation now says 4x plus 10y, don't forget to do the 15, 30. I'm doing 2 times 2, 2 times 5, 2 times 15. Why did I choose 10? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then 5 times everything. So 15x, negative 10y, and negative 30. They do, and that's okay. I'll show you what's going to happen with that. But am I going to get a variable to cancel out here?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Okay, so now I'm ready to add together.
19x equals 0.
19x, my y's cancel. What's 30 plus negative 30?
0.
0. Technically, I mean, you could say they cancel out, but you need a number on the other side. So it's going to be 0. 0 is a number just like every other number. Okay? Don't discriminate against 0. Perfectly valid number. What do I do next?
How about 19?
Okay, divide by 19. Yeah, 0 divided by 19 is just 0. So x equals 0. That's okay. X is allowed to equal 0. That's not no solution. That is a solution. The solution is just 0. Now let's plug that 0 back in, maybe to the top equation. Gosh, I'm really running short on space here. So 2 times 0 plus 5y equals 15. I'm sorry to be cramming this in like this. 2 times 0 is just 0. So 5y equals 15. And y is going to equal 3. So coordinate 0, 3. Okay. I'm going to go a little crazy right now. I'm going to do number 6 first, and then we'll do number 5. Woo, crazy talk, right? Okay, number 6. Okay.
12.
Number 6, I'm in the same situation, right? I can't turn any number into another number easily. Okay, so I'm going to have to change both. And I don't have any positive-negative combos either. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on up there.
Wait, it has to be.
What do you want to do, Javante? Oh, in just a second.
Wait.
Do you want to do the X's or the Y's?
X.
Jatea, you have a question?
Yeah. So it has to be opposite, isn't it?
Right. I'll show you how we're going to do that.
The negative is the positive?
Yep.
Oh, I thought they had to be.
No, because see how, like, here I had a positive 10y and a negative 10y?
Yeah.
Okay? Gentlemen. Join me. Okay, we're going to change the X's. What do 3 and 2 both turn into?
6.
6. Okay, so what do I multiply the top by?
2.
And the bottom?
Negative 3.
Okay, 3 to make it a 6, but then why are some of us saying negative?
I don't know.
Good. If I just do this, if I just multiply by 2 and 3, aren't I going to get a 6 and a 6? Are 6 and 6 going to cancel out? No, I need a 6 and a negative 6. Okay? So to do that, I can just make either one of these numbers negative. It doesn't matter which one. I heard a lot of people saying make the 3 negative, so that's fine. It would still work if you had made the 2 negative. But I want to make it so that one of my 6's is going to come out negative.
Oh.
So let's distribute now. So on the top I would end up with 6x plus 6y equals negative 6. On the bottom I would end up with negative 6x minus 12y equals positive 30. Questions on that? Kara? If it's negative 3 times positive 2, it would come out to be negative 6. That's a positive 2. Positive 2 times negative 3 makes negative 6. Oh, and the first one? Positive 2 times positive 3 makes positive 6. 2 times negative 3 makes negative 6. Why is which one? This one negative? Because this 3 was negative? So positive 2 times negative 3, negative 6. A negative times a positive makes a negative. Okay? 2 negatives make a positive, but if it's only 1 negative, it stays negative. Does that make sense? Yeah? You sure?
No, she's lying.
Okay. Positive and positive make a positive, but positive and negative make a negative. Okay?
Sorry, I'm really bad.
Okay. Now, am I set to add together here?
No.
Are things going to cancel when I add together now?
No.
My 6's are, right?
24.
Okay, those are gone.
24.
Hold on. What's 6 plus negative 12?
Negative 6.
Negative 6.
24.
Thank you, Colvin. Negative 6 plus 30 is 24. Divide by negative 6. Y equals negative 4. Now, I have 4 options here. Guys, I don't know what is so funny that's going on today, but remember, I'm not going to be here to help you with this tomorrow. So I need you to make sure that you're really paying attention to this today. Okay? Okay, let's take that negative 4 and plug it into any one of these 4 equations. You can pick any one you want. I'll just do the top one. So 3 times x plus 3 times negative 4 equals negative 3. Okay, so I just put a negative 4 right there. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So 3x minus 12 equals negative 3. Add the 12. 3x equals 9. X is going to equal 3. So final coordinates, 3, negative 4.
You never get decimals, please.
You can. Okay. All right. That's about as hard as a typical elimination problem gets. Okay? Is one where nothing is going to cancel out and you have to change both equations and make one negative. That's about as much changing as you're going to have to do. Take a look at number 5. What's wrong with number 5?
There's no y and x together.
Y is by
Okay.
itself.
Okay. The real problem, it doesn't even matter that the y is by itself or not.
They're not over
The problem is, right, that they're not over each other. They're not set up to where I can just start adding together. Now, here's the thing, and this is sort of what I was talking about when Dee asked earlier, is this easier? I think probably in these types of equations that you've seen so far, if they're already set up like that, I do think elimination is probably easier.
Yeah.
Something like this, I would probably do substitution. Why?
Oh, because y is by itself.
Because I've already got it solved for y. This is set up like perfectly for what we just did. Now, if I were to hand you one like this and say, here, you have to do elimination with this, you can rearrange the equations to get them to line up. Okay? But I want you to see that if you are just handed this system and I say, here, solve this, this would probably be one where substitution would be a better choice. Okay? Chotea?
So for the top, would you do plus 10?
Probably what I would
and
do...
bring over the y?
Okay, you could do that. Sure. Yeah, let's do it that way. So I would add 10 to this side, and I would subtract y from this side. Okay? So then the positive 10 would be what it equals. And then this side would say 3x minus y.
Yeah.
You agree with me? Okay?
And then
There's probably a way I could have done that a little simpler, but that works.
So then for the positive, do you just change it and
Okay.
do it the whole way up?
So what you're seeing is that the y's are almost set to cancel out, right?
But they're not.
Except I would love for one of them to be
Positive.
positive. So if I want to change this one,
Make everything else other.
I'm going to have to flip everything else. So this is going to become negative, this is going to become negative. Okay? Now I can add these two together. So 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1x. Those are gone. And 6 plus negative 10 is negative 4. If negative x equals negative 4, then what does positive x equal?
4.
Okay? All right, so I'm going to take what x equals, and this equation is set up really nicely for me because it tells me what y equals. So y equals 3 times 4 minus 10. That's 12 minus 10, which is 2. So final coordinate 4 comma 2. I do think there's not any on your homework tonight that are like that, but I think there are some on your assignment for tomorrow where you have to rearrange them and get them ready for substitution. I'm sorry, for elimination. Okay? Questions on that?
Yes.
Okay.